You are listening to the Slowly Dying Podcast with Becca.
Am I just extra or are you just basic?
Yo, what's
Can
up,
you
daddy?
please move your leg? I cannot believe my ex said that.
And Bronte. I can't believe any of my exes said that. I didn't have my coffee today. If there's good food, there is no problem.
Some whipped cream on your nose, actually.
Are we really back for another season?
We get it down on the mic because you don't want a bike.
Oh God, here we go. Hey guys, what's going on?
What's poppin', guys? It's Becca.
And it's Bronte. And if you guys didn't listen to last week's episode, we recommend listening to last week's episode before this episode.
2.
Yeah, it's like part 2, but we're taking it in a different way. So we're doing it in a different part where our topic is when you love someone, but you have to walk away.
This one's sad.
It is actually really sad.
Love somebody, but you still can say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, bitch. No, I'm just joking. Sorry.
We're crazy. Yeah. It is actually really sad. I just thought about it.
It is sad, but I think it's a part of life where you have to realize everything has a beginning and everything has an end.
And I think this...
And nobody wants to talk about the end part.
No.
Well, we are here to talk about the end part.
Here we go. I don't know. It sucks, man. I feel like people think that this only applies to romantic relationships, and no, it does not. It can apply to friendships, family, co-workers. Like, it can really apply to anything in your...
Yeah.
Any relationship in your life.
Benefits, everything.
Yep. And I think it's... like Becca said, it's really important to talk about because I feel like people ignore this part. They don't want to face this part. I don't want to say ignore. Sometimes they know they have to, and that's probably for the best of them, but they don't want to go through the hurt. But I'm not lying to anyone. Like, the hurt sucks. The hurt is...
But the thing is, the reason why we're bringing awareness to this situation, if you realize that everything has a beginning and everything has an end, you'll be able to handle the situation a lot better. You know, when you face reality, it's like, oh, like, okay, so, you know, and then it makes the end a little bit better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because then you realize, okay, so everything has an end, but then, okay, so everything has a beginning. You know what I mean? So.
And it almost seems like it's a little less magical because I think a lot of people, what we learn at such a young age, if you love someone, you do anything for them. You don't want to leave.
You stay with them and you marry them for like 100,000 years. It doesn't happen. That's not reality. I mean, people do stay married, and, you know, we're not just talking about marriage, and people do stay friends. But, I mean, you lose people along the way because you start realizing as you get older, you start losing people because people are fake. People are liars. People are cheaters. And when your standards go up, you really ain't got a lot of people there.
Yep.
So
I know for me, I've covered this in my last few, not the last few episodes, but I've covered it in previous episodes where I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and we loved each other very much and ended up walking away because our paths for the future did not match, and that was really the only reason why. And that was really hard to do because, you know, you love this person so much, but our future plans didn't align very, very well. So that was very hard. That was devastating, but I'm able to sit here, like, it'll be 2 years in May, and I'm able to say, like, I'm happy that I did because I was able to do things for me and what I wanted. And he was able to focus on what he wanted and whatever made him, like, comfortable. And then another one that I was caught up in, like, this year that really hit me hard was I walked away from a friend because it was the same BS with him. It was the same thing.
you see patterns in people.
Yeah. And, like, I'm like, you know what? It hit me one day because I feel like I give people so many chances.
Yeah.
So many chances. And with this person, it's like he would let me know, he's like, I care about you very much. Like, you're always going to be a person in my life. And we did love each other at one point, but it never went anywhere. But we still loved each other as friends. We'd probably do anything for each other. But, like, when you put me in that situation as a homewrecker and you're doing that to your girlfriend and fiance, and it's the same cycle over and over again, and you think I'm not going to say anything to, like, her, I still have not. But, you know, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be associated with this. I don't want to be associated with this type of person.
Because you want to try to match your energy. If they're going to act like that, all right, so I'm pulling your mind. You just pulled your energy back because you don't want to waste it. Because, again, you see patterns in people.
Right. And I think that's where love gets very difficult to walk away from. I could do that with other people very quickly. But since, you know, I cared for him deeply.
You have a bond.
Yeah. It's harder. But you know what? I, like, woke up one day, I'm like, I don't like this. Like, why? You're reading the messages, like, I care about you very much. You're always going to be a very important person in my life. You don't even wish me a happy birthday. You don't even wish me, like, a happy Christmas. You don't even see how I'm doing. Like, I'm always, how are you doing? How are you feeling? You know, what's new? Like, I want to know. I want to, like, be interested. And it just doesn't match. Your actions don't match. And I've known you for a very long time, and I feel like time hurts as well, because you're like, you look back, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to bring this energy forward for my future.
Yeah.
Until, if you want to act like a decent human being, match your words to your energy and your actions.
And I agree, and I think that's another thing I don't think we brought up in the last episode, matching people's energy, is you can't make people match your energy.
Yeah.
That's a whole different, like,
that's a good point
thing. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, you wanted X, Y, and Z, and be like, oh, like, you know, why don't you want to know about my life? Why you don't care it's my birthday? X, Y, and Z. It's like, you can't force them to.
No.
So it's like, you know, I think the most important thing here is to be able to love somebody but still say goodbye. You have to love yourself more.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself more, like, first. You know, and I think this is going to lead into our next topic. Next week is cherishing being single. You know, and it, like, that's what you learn when you're single, is to truly love yourself and be able to handle things. Like, when you're being put in these horrible situations and this and matching people's energy and stuff, but sometimes you can't match your energy. Sometimes you need to walk away and you need to say goodbye. But to be able to say goodbye to somebody, you have to love yourself more, because a lot of people don't know that strength. They don't have that strength. They don't work on that strength because they really truly don't love who they are. You know, and I think that's, I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to ruin next week's episode. That's why I've been single for 4 years. You know what I mean? Because I truly can say, like, you know, like, I just lost a best friend. Okay? I'm not saying
She lost her wife.
My
basically.
wife, you know? And, of course, I always love her.
She didn't die. Like, she didn't die. I should actually, no, she didn't die.
Sorry, I still have this cough, guys. But I chose in that situation, which, you know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and put it on the podcast, and I'll always love her, and if she's listening, whatever, I don't care. But, like, I had to love myself more to walk away than be treated like that, to be disrespected, and to be, you know, people are fighting demons inside of themselves, and you cannot fight them for them. So I had to walk away, okay? I walked away from my son's father, and I loved him more than anything. Not more than Willie, but I almost. Yeah. I loved him. But it's like, I can't be doing this no more. You know what I mean, Bronte? If you, and I'll walk away from you, I'll walk away from my parents. And I'm not saying walk away just because you have a little fight. That's not what I'm saying, guys. Like, cherish your relationships and fight for people. You know what I mean? But you don't got to chase people.
When the fight from the other person is gone.
You cannot fight for somebody that's not going to fight for themselves. And that's where you have to walk away. And you have to be strong enough to walk away. Doesn't mean it's not going to hurt like a bitch. Doesn't mean that it's not going to tear your insides out. Doesn't mean you're not going to cry in the damn bathtub. But you realize, I love myself. And I hope everybody gets to that point.
It makes life so much clearer.
I'm just like, yeah.
It's so hard. It's so hard, guys. Because you have, like, a familiar routine with that said person that you love. Like, you know, depending on who they are in your life, and when they're gone, when you choose to walk away, it's like, I don't want to say you have all the power. I don't want to say that. You have to be strong enough to break routine, to now make your new normal without them in your life. Like, and that's very difficult. But time moves forward, and eventually it does get better. Like, and then you look back and you're like, wow, I did that. That was very hard. And
it was hard.
You still love the person though, but it's
Yeah.
a different kind of love. It's a tainted love. Like, you know that, like, I love that person and that was beautiful what we had, but I had to walk away for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you had to leave because it was dampering. Like,
Well, and you know, sometimes walking away doesn't mean like, okay, I'm going to end this friendship, I'm going to end this friends with benefits, I'm going to end this relationship with mom, X, Y, and Z. Sometimes you could take a break, and sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes it needs to be ended, sometimes it needs to take a break.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people don't know which is which, and that just comes with time.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy is when other people are able to see you really be strong and walk away from something that like 95% of people aren't walking away. That's why you got people who are miserable in relationships. That's why you got people who, you know, they just are with their significant other
Yeah.
because they're so miserable and like they act like they're so happy on social media. The next relationship I get in, it will not be fake. I can tell you right now. Okay, I'm not saying I'm gonna always be 100% happy, but like I know what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I write in my journal every day. What will I tolerate from a man? What will I not tolerate? What are my goals? Okay, his goal. He's got to have goals.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's got to
God.
have something. He's got to. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, guys, this cough. You know, I have worked on myself. Sorry, now we're getting into the next episode. I've worked so hard to get where I am, so I expect you to match my energy.
Exactly.
I expect you to, you know what I mean? Like, I want this, I want that, I want, you know what I mean?
want them
So-
to bring something to the table.
yeah, I mean, I said in the last couple podcasts, like, jokingly, like, he better not bring the damn table, he better bring the damn house with the food, with this and this and this. But it's true, because, you know what? I know what I bring to the table, and if you match my energy, I will bring 10 times more. You know what I mean? I know that I'm a great girlfriend. I know what I have to, like, you know what I mean? Because, again, I've worked on myself for 4 years. So... and I know I'm a good mom. I know that I don't... Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. We're going to get... I want to save this for the next podcast. But, you know, what I was trying to say is I think that when other people see that you are able to walk away from a very toxic situation, they respect you a lot more. You gain people's respect. You know what I mean? Because then they're like, oh, my God. So, like, I understand that... you know, Becca is able to walk away from X, Y, and Z. She probably do that to me. So I'm letting you know, not just for me, I'm letting everybody else know, I don't tolerate that. I will never tolerate that. I don't expect you to tolerate if I act that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It doesn't just, I don't tolerate this. If I act like that, please don't tolerate it from me. It goes both ways here.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, you know, you set the vibe with everybody else when you start having standards, respecting yourself, and to being able to walk away. And to be able to walk away, you need to be okay being alone.
Yep.
And a lot of people aren't. And that's okay.
Now that's
like,
power right there. It's the most
It's
wonderful
power.
thing.
but that's because I'm stubborn, too. It comes with my stubbornness. It's not always a good thing. Sometimes it is bad that I'm very stubborn. But, yeah.
But you eventually come around and see how that can be like a weakness.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, because it's not you know.
But guys, like, if you have that feeling that you know the best choice probably is to walk away for a little while or forever, you probably should. Like, something inside of you is like, this isn't fair, or I'm not tolerating this, or, you know, like, it's just not working anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's your body screaming and your mind screaming to get away from this person.
Yeah.
But you love them so much. That's why love's so confusing, too. Like,
Love is pain.
the price we pay for love is grievance, and like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, too. And you can grieve a loved one that's still alive because
And I feel like that's the hardest type
Yeah.
of grievance.
because people cave. People are like, okay, I can withstand this. No, like, that's not what it means. Like, you're not giving yourself the respect,
Yeah.
like, anymore.
And a little tip, if you're trying to walk away from something, and I've learned this, after dealing with some crazy trauma, is, you know, before you walk away from somebody or something or whatever, you need to step back and give yourself some time.
Yeah.
Don't just say, okay, I'm pissed off because of this. I need to walk away. give yourself a good month. And if you still feel like you need to walk away after a month or a couple weeks or whatever time frame you think that you need, then you should do it. You know, and this will solve all your guys' anxiety about walking away. Not all of it, but it will ease it. Is if something is meant to come back in your life, it will come back. You don't have to chase. You don't chase nobody. You don't, not saying you don't gotta fight for somebody. Those are two different things. Fighting and chasing. Don't chase people.
No.
We are not desperate here. And let them come back on their own. If they're the one caused the problem, let them come back. If you caused the problem, you know, we don't talk about this. Sometimes you need to walk away from somebody because you're the toxic one.
Yeah.
And you keep destroying that person over and over, and you keep cheating. But you don't hear that people talk about that all the time.
That's true.
Because I mean, if you're being toxic, then apparently you don't give a shit. But if you do care, then you need to be strong enough to be like, you know what, I'm gonna stop hurting this person. I'm gonna stop playing this person. Because the only person you're playing when you're playing with somebody else is yourself.
It's true.
So
That's fact.
facts. Mic drop. Still sipping on my damn tea.
Yeah, we're still recovering from our COVID.
But guys, you learn all this when you're alone, and you learn all this when you get standards.
We
And
never
you-
said it was easy.
It's not.
This isn't a cakewalk. God,
It's not
I
easy,
was.
but it's worth it. Worth
It is. I would, if I could make someone understand what this feeling is like. I'm always like, when people are going through it or just are starting it, I'm like, you just have to stick it out. I cannot describe the feeling. It's worth it. Just keep going. Don't cave in. Focus on yourself. Do something that you've always wanted to do. Join the gym. Join a boxing class. Do a pottery class.
Yeah.
Pick up a second job. I don't know. Use that energy to something that you want to do and focus on yourself. It's like the most rewarding feeling. And telling people it's going to be okay if you do it the right way. Like, you know, the right way being focusing on yourself and not going back to your loved one.
You don't want to continue to make the same mistakes over and over.
It'll make leaving again harder.
Yeah, and that's another thing is, you know, you sit here and walk away, but then you come back. And I'm not saying coming back is right or wrong. Sometimes you need to come back to realize that the pattern's still the same. Sometimes people change, and that's all right. But change, like I said, change doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a couple months. I really believe change takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of looking in the mirror and being like, what is the actual deep root issue here? And a lot of people don't get to that.
Right.
Because they're stubborn and this and that. And I mean, I'm stubborn too, so I can't talk a lot of shit. But like, you know, you have to love yourself more to be able to walk away from something that you really, truly love and you care about.
Agree.
But if it's meant to be, it will always find a way back, you know, and you don't gotta force anything. And that's all I have to say about this issue.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So the next episode is something about cherishing being single, and it's going to be my favorite episode.
I'm excited. See how we all link these last 3 weeks, guys? See how we do that?
Linking it up.
Well, guys, Becca is baking some cauliflower, and it smells amazing, and that's all I got to say about that.
Cook.
Yes, that's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah, so.
And it's Willie's birthday.
It is Willie.
Like,
he's 6.
I can't believe
my
it.
little Willie.
It's his birthday week, so.
Happy birthday, William.
Happy birthday. Like, so. He loves this damn podcast.
Oh my
He loves the
gosh.
mics. He's probably the #1 supporter. He's the model of it. It's crazy.
So,
shout out to Willie.
yeah, thank you.
So, yeah.
But this is Becca, and I'm popping off of this sad topic.
I know. Leaving the sad topic at
Bye,
the door.
guys.
And this is Bronte, guys. See you later.